Hi, my name is Beth, and today I am going to make you some guacamole. Avocados. You know who loves avocados? Anthony from the Fat Five. And it's a really good fat. This kind of fat is very, very good for you. This kind of fat is not. But anyway, okay. So now we're going to take an avocado, which the best way for me is you just stick your finger right underneath there and just get it out. You get your fingers a little messy, but it's no fuss at all. So I'm just going to chop these up, and I'm going to just cut them up. They're not as ripe as I'd like them to be, and I have to tell you that I got this recipe from my daughter. She is a vegan and the best eater, the best cook that I know. She's wonderful. I know you're thinking, oh, a vegan, but so healthy, so delicious. She's amazing. So if you're ever thinking about going vegan, contact my daughter, Amy. So I cut those up and I put them in here. And so they're in there now. And I'm just going to eat that piece that fell on the counter. So in addition to that, I'm going to add some red pepper. So I'm going to clean it. I'm going to clean it off. I did not buy organic. You should buy organic, but I'm so cheap I can't afford organic right now. But they're the field grown, and I don't know what's in the field or anything like that. So I just cut a piece off like this, and then I'm going to cut the pieces really small. So you'll see that I just slice them really, really thin on the pepper like this. And the reason that my daughter taught me to make guacamole is I loved guacamole, and I was buying it at the store and spending money that I don't like to spend money, as everybody knows. And she said, Mom, you will not believe how easy this is to make. Let me show you. So she showed me what ingredients to buy and showed me how to make it. And I put a lot of stuff in mine. You don't have to. You can have just avocado and lime juice and tomato, whatever you want. But I like to put red peppers, red onion, tomato, and I prefer fresh lime juice, but I don't have any fresh limes today. So I'm just cutting these up really, really small. And I love red peppers. When I was younger, I thought that red peppers tasted like pepper, like pepper, which I don't like. So I never even tried them. I never gave them a chance. And I didn't like green peppers because my mother tried to put it in with onions and the American chop suey, and they were gross. But oh my gosh, red peppers are like candy. Legitimately, they are sweet. There's nothing peppery about red peppers, and not spicy. They're just so delicious. So that was my red pepper. And then I take a little bit of tomato. I usually use a big tomato, but today all I have is these little small ones. So I'm going to cut up the little small tomatoes. And there's my husband in the background. So I'm cutting up the little red tomatoes. What are these called? Cherry tomatoes, I guess. Like
grape tomatoes.
Grape tomatoes. My husband loves them. My grandson eats them like cookies. He adores them. If we leave them out when he's here, they're gone the next day. So my grandson Huck is a big, big fan of the grape tomato. So, and some people prefer more tomatoes. I'm not a big fan of tomatoes, so I only use a few, and I only use a little. I'm heavy on the red pepper and not as heavy on the tomato, but you can do whatever you like. I'm just saying that I like to be heavy on the red pepper and a light on the tomato. So I'm just cutting it up really small like that. And again, wash them. I don't think I wash these. But you should wash your vegetables before you use them, because it's just all kinds of junk on there. Dirt and chemicals and just not good stuff most of the time. So I'm going to squeeze out a little of the extra junk, put the tomato in. It's not enough, so I'm going to cut up one more. Because when I look at it, I can tell like the ratio of how much I need and how much I don't need. So, oh, I just got tomato juice all over me. Did you see that? So I like to take the inside out. I just squeeze the inside right out of there. And I don't like to put that in, all the juicy stuff that's on there. And the seeds, it's just, I just don't like it in mine. You can use it. If you like that part of the tomato, feel free to use that part. I don't like it. So there we go. I add a little bit more and squeeze it out. And now, before I add the, before I chop the onion, I'm going to clean off my cutting board. I don't know why. I just like to have a clean cutting board when I do my tomatoes. I mean my onions. Maybe, well, I think it will help me cry less. I don't really cry when I do onions. So I have a friend who wears the big old goggles and everything. When she cuts onions, she cries every time. I don't think she cries with the goggles, but today I'm just using red onion. Sometimes I use red onion and Vidalia onion, but I am only going to use a little bit of red onion. So I'm going to take the red onion and cut the amount that I want, which for me, I've been told that my guacamole is a little, sometimes too oniony. So it's only for me, so I can put as much as I wanted because I'm the only one who's going to be eating it. So there. So I just going to cut the onion up pretty fairly, pretty fine. It looks like this when I start, and then it's going to get little tiny pieces, hopefully, when I'm done. I am not very good at keeping my chops, my cuts uniform. I'll have big chunks and little chunks and big cubes and little cubes, and it's a disaster. Uneven cuts, that's what they always talk about on the cooking shows. So all of mine are uneven, and I can deal with it. So I'm just kind of gonna cut it. You need to have a sharper knife. I don't have really many sharp knives. I need to sharpen them. I don't go to a place where they sharpen it. I just use, you know, when you buy a knife set, it comes with that big long thing that you, for years, didn't know what it was. It sharpens your knives. Surprise! Who knew? So I know that now. So it's a cheap way to sharpen your knives, and it comes with the knife set that you get, and it works. It really does. So if you need to sharpen your knives, use that thing, because that's what I use. And it's inexpensive, and I don't have really expensive knives, but if it cuts, it cuts, right? So obviously I got some on the counter and not in the bowl, but I'll clean that up. So there is all of my ingredients. So now I have to mash up the avocado. Sometimes you can do it before. I like to do it when all the ingredients are in, because then everything kind of mixes up really nicely and kind of creams in with the avocado. So I get the mixture of everything. So now I'm going to just take a regular old fork, and I'm going to smush down on the avocado until it gets creamy. And it's not hard to do. You smush down till it gets nice and creamy. And then once you're smushed down, you just stir it up. Keep smushing and stirring. It is going to be so good. This is my dinner, and I'm looking forward to it. So I don't like big chunks of avocado, so I smush it up quite a bit. And you can do it any way you want, like with a spoon, with a whisk, with a mixer. I just prefer this kind of smushy, stirry thing, because that is the way my daughter showed me, so why mess with a good thing? Then I do add some real pepper. I add real pepper, which I'm not a big fan of, but it gives it a little bit of a nice little taste. And then I add some salt, which I enjoy having the fresh ground salt here. Sometimes I've also been told that it's a little too salty, but it works out perfect. So then I stir that in, and then, like I said, I don't have any fresh lime, but I'm going to go to the fridge and get that good old lime juice and open it up and give it a couple squirts. So There we go. I just gave it 1 squirt. I'm not a big fan of the lime juice. I don't like guacamole that's too limey. So that, my friends, is my guacamole. Mmm.